Well, here in Cupertino, in the past 2 years, we've worked to make the city budget more transparent. For example, by producing a chart like this, a Sankey chart, that helps visualize where our money comes from and where it goes, with a breakdown of revenue by sources and expenditures by type, showing how it flows through our funds and departments. With this chart, we can readily spot, for example, large flows going to capital projects and carryovers to the following year. We have also invested in new software to make our financial process more efficient and our data more readily available. And today, for the first time, I'm pleased to announce that we are making our budget available to the public in interactive form online. Here's the default homepage that you'll see when you land at our new portal. This is a stacked graph showing actual expenses by department over the last 6 years, plus the budget for this year. The first thing I'll note is the timing of many of the big expenditures committed in last year's budget were hard to predict and landed in this fiscal year rather than last, which explains the large difference between the adopted and amended budget figures. Let's review expenses by various departments just as an exercise here. Clicking on Notes on the top right brings up some detailed explanations that I'll summarize here verbally. Blue is non-departmental expense, which is almost entirely money we are putting into our Capital Improvement Programs Fund. Green is public works expense, and we'll drill down on that shortly. Let's move to yellow, community development, which has increased significantly this year, largely due to Apple Campus 2 inspection services. Further down is red, administrative services. It's increased because the council elected to pay down the bulk of our unfunded long-term liability for retiree health obligations. At the very bottom, orange represents a small contingency fund. We used to separate that and have a contingency in each department. Now we've consolidated that so the city manager can better manage that as needs occur. We can also look at the same data as a pie chart, and there's a slider at the bottom that lets you take a look at how that pie has changed over time. We can then drill down to see more detail in, say, the Public Works Department, and continue drilling down to get more data as desired. Now let's click on one of the filters in the upper left to show total expenditures on pavement maintenance of our roads, which is a composite of 2 different funds. You'll note that our spending has dramatically increased in the last couple years. In the aftermath of the 2008 downturn, our budget was significantly impacted, and we skimped on pavement maintenance, which is certainly a way to balance the budget and lean times. But if maintenance is deferred too long, roads get very expensive to fix. Consequently, the council voted in recent years to increase spending to get our average pavement maintenance index, which is how we quantify this, back up to a sustainable level. Want to check it out for yourself? It's live right now at cupertino.org/OpenGov.